Morning. So, it's the 23rd of December and we are off on a little trip to La Souterraine, and it's the Christmas market apparently today. Sorry, they're a bit wobbly, very wobbly. So we're meeting Ted and Lisa there, and but first of all we have to stop off at the post office because I have to drop off my driving license to send it off to the company that are producing my French license. Excuse me. Now this has taken quite a long time and so much paperwork you wouldn't believe. But anyway, so this is apparently the final step. But I feel a bit nervous about sending my actual driving license in the post. But anyway, so I've tried to learn how to say, "Can I send this recorded delivery, please?" But anyway, we'll do a bit of filming around the market. Anything you want to say, my darling?
No. I'm still asleep because I only woke up 15 minutes ago.
I know. We are up a bit earlier, out earlier than we normally are. But it's about 20 to 10.
Steve never stays in bed until 20 to 10.
It's a bit of a grimy day, but anyway, we'll hopefully La Souterraine will be beautifully decorated and make us feel in the Christmas spirit. So we'll see you later. Doodle pip.
Bye.
Our move to France came earlier than anticipated when this little house in the Limousin stole our hearts. We'd love you to continue to follow us, Joe and Steve Harris, and our two rather naughty dogs, Morse and Bright, on our incredible adventure to renovate our new home and attempt to integrate into French society. Bon courage! I know I have before, but let me remind you about this lovely place. La Souterraine is a medium-sized town situated just over the border from us in Haute-Vienne, in the department of Creuse in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. It's positioned on the banks of the river Creuse and is famous for its rich history and superb architecture. Historically, La Souterraine was important for trade in the region and played a crucial role in the medieval trade routes that connected France and Spain. Today, it is an attractive and peaceful destination for holidaymakers looking to discover the French countryside and experience perhaps a slower pace of life. One of the most significant tourist spots in La Souterraine is the Romanesque church of Saint-Jean-Baptiste. It dates back to the 12th century and is renowned for its striking stone architecture. It features magnificent stained glass windows, an attractive altar, and numerous curious sculptures. Also, the Tower of Brevière is an imposing medieval tower built in the 14th century. It played a valuable role in the 100 Years' War, and visitors can climb to the top for broad views of the surrounding countryside. It was a bit of a rainy day, I'm afraid, as it has been here for about the last 2 months, so the buildings were not shown off to their full potential. The market is mainly for food, produced by local farmers, but there were other stalls selling beautiful pottery, delicious mulled wine, and some gorgeous jewellery. All in all, we had a fabulous time. We met lots of friends and ended up with a burger for lunch. Very satisfying. I'm so glad we went with Ted and Lisa. It's such good fun to share these experiences. The long-awaited Christmas had arrived, and although Christmas lunch was slightly late on the table, it gave us the chance to open a pre-dinner present each. It was really fantastic to have my sister Em and her son Ben to stay, and made decorating the house even more worth the while. We all got some gorgeous presents, and Bright was very happy too, picking up food remnants. A little later, after eating way too much, the party games began. The cork game was played quite a few times, with the rules changing every now and then. Ben and I are playing a game called Hey George, which I had to stop playing with my children years ago as it brought on hysterics. So I was amazed to get through this game with him.
Stealing the cards now. Very serious competition of Hey George.
Okay. Yes, you got those. Oh, dear.
Steve as the adjudicator. It's become very serious.
Oh,
Damn it!
yes. Stay alive. Hey.
I didn't even put
The
one
Queen
down.
of the Ace is still
Right.
flashing.
That's got to be really short.
After all that fun, we decided to visit a local town. Montmorillon is a commune in central western France, about 30 miles from where we live. It's known as the Book Town and has been branded the City of Writing. It has many writing-inspired museums and bookshops, and I fell in love with the place on sight. The town was once known for paper making, but in the 19th century the mill and its ample supply of water was diverted to the making of the beer of Montmorillon. This was quite unusual, as it was aimed at punters with a distaste for wine. I didn't even know this was feasible in France. It was a family-run business, was continued up until 1963, leaving quite a few discarded buildings. Thankfully, it opened again in 2015. The notion that Montmorillon should be a book town came from a lady named Régine Desforges. She was a local councillor and successful, if rather controversial, author. The town's history of papermaking and her idea received local and international support. It is also renowned for its macarons, which personally I find irresistible, and there is a museum dedicated purely to them. Le Musée d'Art et d'Histoire de Montmorillon was opened in 1936, and after closing for several years, it reopened in 2018 and is located on the right bank of the Gartempe. It has an anthology of provincial paintings of the 19th and 20th century. The greater part are portraits, but the landscape of the local area is greatly presented, the artists having drawn inspiration both from the landscape of the province and their broader journeys. I can see why this place is a magnet for writers and artists alike. It is truly beautiful and has given me inspiration to start to write again.
Good morning. I think I mentioned earlier on a little bit about my application for a French driving licence, and I thought perhaps I should give you a few insights as to what sort of thing you're going to be up against when you apply for one. I think that we've been told differing things by differing people of what is required. Apparently, the local police say no matter what your situation or your status, you do need a French driving licence. But I think the nationwide gendarmerie don't say that. And if you look on a website, it will say that if your English licence is still valid,
for a certain amount of time, I think, then you are fine. You don't need to exchange it. But recently I found out that mine was coming to an end, so I've had to apply. I think that what made me realise that, or not I think what made me realise that, what made me realise that was that I was parked at the local garage waiting to speak to one of the mechanics, and this woman just reversed into me. So she started, I could see her coming, and she was coming really fast, and I didn't even have time to sort of honk the horn or anything. She just reversed straight into me, and it was, for her, it was such a shock because she hadn't even seen my car, I don't think. And so really, it was quite comical, really. But we had to fill out a form. They were very sweet because obviously it's all in French, and we were struggling about a few things. But when I took out my driving license to put the number down, I realised it was already out of date, and it was like, ooh. So I panicked a bit, but that's turned out to be fine. But hence I've had to apply for a new one. I think I mentioned before here that women we are known by our maiden names, which I suppose in my view is actually quite a good idea, because it means you don't have documentation in the married name. So everybody's documentation, feminine documentation, is in their maiden name. So being an English person, I've had to, it's absolutely vital that you've got a copy of your birth certificate, any marriage certificates, any divorce papers you need, so that you can prove who you are. They can see the link of names. So I've been married 3 times, so it's been quite tricky to find everything. And you just don't keep hold of papers like that. Why would you? So anyway, I've managed to find them all, and so it's been a bit complicated and long-winded. However, I would recommend that you find all these things, get scans of them, and then keep them in a file on your computer where you know where they are. Because I've found that I've kept them in one folder or another, and I've had to really think hard about where they are, and it's impossible. So just keep them in one folder saying, scanned documents or something. Anyway, what you have to do is go on to the ANTS website, ANTS, which is a French website, obviously, and set yourself up an account. That's quite straightforward, and in fact, you can translate it into English. There's an English page, so it's quite straightforward. It actually gives you a lot of advice of the things that you will need, unlike the visa application, where it just gave a little list, but then when you got there, you found you needed 100 other things. So this is much more straightforward. They give you a comprehensive list of documents that you need. So one, you'll need proof of address, so your EDF bill or something like that. You need your passport, your carte de séjour or your visa, up to date, obviously. What else? So your marriage certificate, and as I said, any divorce papers. You'd also need a certificate called the Right to Drive, and you can download this from the DVLA. Again, it's very straightforward, but it only lasts for, I think it's 2 months, or it might even be a month. Might be 3. I don't know, in other words, but it's not very long. But anyway, so you have to download that. But then the real bugbear is that you have to have that translated into French, together with the copy of your driving license, front and back. Now, you can't just do it yourself. You have to get it done by a registered translator. And I think that cost me, I think it was €75. I'm not quite sure. But it was an English girl who's done stuff for us before, so that was really straightforward, and she did it overnight, so I got that straight back, so that was really good. But that's a real pain to have to do. What else? So I sent all those off scans of them. It lists them in the thing, and you can download them. They have to be, some of them have to be in PDF format, otherwise they just aren't accepted. But some of them aren't. So, but you'll see. I think it's the ones where it's your documentation. It has to be PDF, so they can't change it, or it can't be changed. So yeah, so I sent all those off, and then it was this long wait. And I'd read on the internet that it would take up to 3 months. It's been 5 so far. I know it's been Christmas, but oh my goodness, it's taking a long time. Anyway, they contacted me through the website once, asking for more documentation, which was the right to drive document, because it had expired. So although I'd already sent it, it had expired, so I had to send it again. So I had to download a new one and send that off again. Anyway, that was that. Another long wait, and then eventually they seemed to be satisfied with that. And then they sent another email through via the website, not via your actual email, saying now I needed to send my actual driving license through the post to this address that they gave me, with a copy of 2 letters that you download from the website. You have to fill in your address, so it's just showing the address that you want on your driving license. So I must admit, I was a bit hesitant of sending it off in the post, but it's what you have to do. So now I am sans driving license, but you send it registered post. You get a read receipt, but it's a post receipt, so that you know they've received it. And then you just have to wait again. So I'm hoping that it will all come through. I mean, the hilarious thing was that I went to the post office, and I had translated how to say, can I send this by registered post, please, and can I have an acknowledgement receipt? And so I sort of went in and I said, oh, je suis désolée, mon français est très mauvais, mais puis-je envoyer cet courrier? And she saw the address on it, and she just filled in the rest of it. She just said, registered post with the read receipt. And I said, yeah, thank you very much. But she said it all in French. But that was really, really nice. So you just have to fill in a form. I think it was €6 or something, so it's not expensive. So now it's fingers crossed that I'm going to get a French driving license. So we thought we'd come out for a afternoon stroll with the doggies. So we come down to the lake. I'm sorry I'm sounding a bit out of breath, it's slightly uphill.
We live just up there.
Oh, I didn't get you, darling.
Just up there.
Okay. Yeah, so not far. So, but I think I did actually this time last year I did a film of us going down to the Hyde, which I think, is it down here? Yeah. So it was all beautifully snowy and there's ice everywhere, but it's very, very wintry now. The dogs love it. So they've both been very well behaved after having some schooling with Auntie Emily, who has got them doing walking to heel. It was amazing. So we haven't been pulled off our socks like normal. So they're very good. So I'm trying to look where I'm walking and film at the same time, which is not easy. So it's absolutely gorgeous. It's so lovely to have something like this walking distance from your house. Oh, so beautiful. It has just stopped raining a little bit, but I think we've just caught the better weather just for a moment.
It looks like there might be a bit more coming.
Yeah, so it won't be too long. But gorgeous. We don't explore enough around here, really. So I think another New Year's resolution will be to investigate more and to take days off, because we just it's renovation and doing stuff for the house and around the house, and we just need to take some time off. The only thing for us is that we don't really do lunch, so going out to lunch is a bit weird.
So after the dog walk, it was my favourite pastime of logging. As William, our log deliverer, has not delivered our second batch, we have to clear some from the garden. It's always good fun. Together with poo collection, which is always just as fun.
So a bit of logging done.
Bit,
Yeah.
William comes up front in the summer.
Well, so William has not bought our second lot of logs, and we've actually gone through the first lot, which I can't believe, but anyway, we have. So this was an old tree that blew down in the gales in this sort of autumny time. No, it's been ages actually. It must be last summer, and so I think it's
in the high winds at the end of September, wasn't it?
oh, probably. So yeah, we've just got rid of that. So we seem to spend quite a lot of our time dealing with logs and things. But anyway, as I said, we've just chopped up that old tree that fell down during the year. It's actually a beautiful day now. Sun's come out. It's not very cold. Hello, my darling.
Hello, baby.
So yeah, everywhere looks lovely, and we don't often see that little side of Jacqueline's house next door, but it's very pretty. I am very glad that the shutters aren't bright pink anymore, though. So I'm going to leave Steve to unstack all this lot. I've been actually doing out the cold room today because it just gets into such a state where everything's piled on top of everything. So yeah. So I'll leave you to it, darling. Is that okay? So it's the end of another year. My goodness, so much has happened. We've had so much fun. We've improved this gorgeous house over and over again, and are just thrilled with it. Aren't we, darling?
We are. It's been a labour of love sometimes, but it's coming on nicely now. Well, we just wanted to say to you all a huge thank you to all of you that have subscribed to our channel. We're now well over 1,000, aren't we, darling?
We are.
Yeah, nearly 1,100. And all the lovely comments you have made over the last year. We have a lot more planned.
We do.
So keep watching.
Keep subscribing.
Liking and subscribing and all the clever stuff.
Anyway, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
So keep safe, and we will see you next year.
See you next year. Bon courage.
That was terrible.
Yeah.